Hey everybody, thanks for taking a couple minutes to check out my review of this cordless hedge trimmer. A couple of weeks ago I posted a review of a cordless pressure washer put out by the same company, and I'll put a link to that video right up here if you want to watch that one as well. At the end of my video I said I would like to try out their cordless hedge trimmer, so they got back to me and said we'll send you the hedge trimmer if you want to do a review on that as well. So I got their cordless hedge trimmer here. I'm going to do a quick unboxing, and then I will get the batteries charged up, and then we'll take it out in the field and we'll see how this one performs. Okay, so we got the hedge trimmer here. And I know this is a brushless motor. It has lithium-ion battery. Yes, exact same configuration as the other one from the pressure washer. Plugs in right here. I'm just going to snap this on here. The last one had a little bit of charge in it. I'm going to press the charge level here. It shows it has about a little over two bars. The third bar is lit up a little bit. I'm just going to pull the trigger and see what happens. Okay, so I noticed something about the speed of the machine. This is similar to the pressure washer, and I made the same type of mistake there. It has a button on top here that you can actually change the speed. You have to engage the trigger, and then you can change the power level with this little button right here. Not the power level, but the speed level, I guess it would be. There's one bar, a little bit slower, and then it jumps up to 3 bars. Revs up and goes quite a bit faster. So I'm anxious to get this battery charged up the full way. Get this little handle attached here. I'm going to see if I can pop that on right now. Looks like it just snaps onto here. So let's get this battery charged up and get it outside and see how she works. But one little extra note before we get it out in the field. There were 2 screws that mount the handle and lock it into place once you get it to where you like it. And that's a little brush guard that gets mounted on the front right there. Okay, before I get to the actual trimming, just want to point out that this is a 2 amp hour battery that came with this tool. The pressure washer came with a 4 amp hour battery. It ran for quite a while. This is supposed to run for about an hour. And I'm going to be doing a lot of trimming of these goldenrod edges right here. A lot of goldenrods, drapes in here where I like to mow along here. So I'm going to be trimming a lot of that stuff, and there's a lot of blackberry jaggers and stuff in there as well. I'm going to film a little bit here on normal speed, and then I'm going to put my camera on time lapse and just see how much I can get done with this 2 amp hour battery to start with. Okay, so far, I'd have to say it's not super aggressive. I mean, it's doing what it needs to do. It's pretty sharp. I chopped a few thicker branches with it already. I'm going to turn my camera on time-lapse and just see how long it'll run. But, I mean, it's doing what it needs to do. Okay, so there's like 2 negatives of this thing. One, I wish it had a locking trigger, so that you could just put it on and it would just constantly run. It won't turn on now because it just completely ran dead right now. The other negative is it's not like super high speed. I mean, if you want something that is just really super aggressive and you're gonna mow stuff down as fast as you can swing it through, this wouldn't be for you. If you have some small hedges and stuff and you can just take your time and do it, I mean, it works really well actually. And this is where it ran dead. I was gonna keep going down along here to chop some of this. One of the surprising things is how long it ran. It ran for quite a while. I didn't think I would get as far as I did on the one battery. It'll chop through some pretty thick stuff. These are really heavy jagger bushes right here, and this is right at the end. I purposely cut through some heavier stuff like these limbs and stuff right here. This is actually a piece of autumn olive. It's pretty thick. I will actually more than likely come over here with my little Shaker cordless chainsaw and mow some of these off at the base. But I just wanted to see if it would go through some of these things, and it did. There's branches all over here. I'm going to just take you for a quick walk around to show you everything that I did. It ran for a long time. It's sharp. It will cut through some branches. I'll show you more as I go along. I'm just going to show you some of the stuff. I got some raking up to do. It's actually probably nice and lightweight. I did most of it single-handedly, even with my bum arm that I had surgery on. So it's pretty lightweight, I mean, and pretty easy to use. There wasn't much to do around here. Here, I chopped a bunch of these branches off here. But you can see right through here, hopefully, where I mowed through all this stuff. And most of the stuff I'm mowing down that I went out of my way is goldenrod and blackberry jaggers coming in and encroaching into where I want to mow. There's another pile of pretty heavy brush that it went through. I will say that it struggled on a piece of oak, that little chunk of white oak limb. That was a struggle for it, but it got through it. It did quite a bit. I was pleasantly surprised with how long it ran. Through here, some more autumn olive bushes around here. All around that beehive, you can see the autumn olives that I chopped down there. And this is one of the worst parts, where the weeds and the jaggers and these autumn olive bushes will come into here. You can see where I went up through here with it. Bunch of stuff here, some bigger branches here that would chop off. Like I said, I'm going to come over with that little cordless chainsaw and chop a bunch of these off though. Same way here. Like a lot of this stuff, I was just doing just to see if it would do it. I'm going to come and chop a bunch of these out. Went through here. Up along there. And there's where I finally realized that I was away from my beehives and I could take my jacket off. And I went up around behind the garage and my blueberry patch. So I'm gonna go back to my truck and give my final thoughts on this. Okay, so my final thoughts on this cordless battery operated hedge trimmer. First, the two slight drawbacks for me was, one, I wish it had a locking trigger to keep it running. That might be a safety feature. Maybe they have to do that, I don't know. But I would like to have that. And I wish it had a little more speed to it. Would be really cool. But I was thinking maybe some of the lack in speed is a buildup in power for it. And maybe that's why it was able to chop through some of the heavier branches. I do know I got to get some oil on this bar before I run it much more. Some of the things that I was pleasantly surprised with was it did chop through some heavier branches for sure. And this little 2 amp hour battery ran for quite a while. At first I was wishing I would have had that it would have came with a 4 amp one, but with this smaller battery I was able to hold on to this thing with just one hand for quite a while and do quite a bit of trimming with it. If I was getting one and I knew that I needed an extra battery, I'd probably just get an extra 2 amp hour battery and just be able to switch them out, and you could do quite a bit with it. So overall, I was surprised with how much it did on that little battery. I know with that 4 amp hour battery, it would run for quite a while, but it's noticeably heavier with that 4 amp hour battery in it. Okay, so would I recommend buying this tool? For the average homeowner that just has a few shrubs or bushes, or like me, I got some tall weeds that I want to keep kept back out of my grass, and an occasional heavy branch, it will go through them. Sure, I mean, it works pretty good. So yes, I would recommend it for that. For somebody that had to do stuff on like a commercial scale, no, it's not that. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, if you need a commercial tool, buy a commercial tool. For the regular homeowner, absolutely, I recommend this product. So I want to thank everybody for watching this video, and I want to thank this company for letting me try their tool out. I appreciate it a lot. Hope you all have a blessed day, and stay safe, everybody.